What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This here is Legitical Response. We cover political news and every single thing that the corporate press does to try to prop up Joe Biden. Holy crap, do I have a clip for you guys just to kick the video off. This one is outright insane. It's one of those I can't even moments type of thing going on here. It's like, okay, the corporate press lied to us. Lied to everybody saying Joe Biden's just fine, you guys. And guess what? That was all shattered at the debate. But leave it to MSNBC.
To allow the candidates to have as many staff as they want, join them on the stage throughout the debate, and make sure that all of them have microphones. And the candidates should be allowed to turn to their staffs and confer with them about anything at any time in the debate. And we should be able to hear everything they say. So we can hear if the candidate has competent or incompetent staff. We could hear the candidate overrule some advisors and say something else. We could watch the candidates actually think and process information, including possibly information that they might not know until a staff member tells them or reminds them. A candidate should be allowed to let staff members actually answer questions for them, just as the Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, answers questions on behalf of the president around the world, as has every Secretary of State in history. That's the way the presidency actually works. The presidency does not involve oral exams and memory quizzes. The president is allowed to forget what the marginal income tax rate is on couples filing jointly with an income of $150,000. There's always someone in the room who knows the answer to that kind of thing, which, by the way, is 22%. And I don't know that because I used to write tax law and I memorized all the tax brackets. I know that because I just looked it up. That's the way governing works. People are allowed to look up whatever fact they need whenever they need it. And they're allowed to forget those facts when they don't need it because they'll always be able to retrieve those facts one way or another when they do need it. Or they should always be allowed to ask nearby experts or advisors for that fact. That's the way it works. That's the way it works for senators. That's the way it works for presidents, members of Congress, mayors, city councilors.
Okay, so that was some of the most spectacular shillery I think I've ever seen in my entire life. How insane do you have to be? He's trying to parse out the difference and let everybody know that, look, guys, just because you vote for a vegetable for president, a debate is not how the president runs the country. Just because he did bad in a debate doesn't mean he can't run the country, folks. Let's vote for Tomato Joe and let's get him in office. As a matter of fact, no, he's probably more like a potato instead of a tomato because tomatoes are pretty good if you ask me. But that was just one of the most insane clips I think I've ever seen. And I can't just get over the fact of MSNBC actually propping up Joe Biden to that extent by trying to reassure everybody everything's fine. But it doesn't just stop there. Joe Biden had come out today. No, I'm staying in the race, damn it. He's not going anywhere. And it's great to see because the veil has been shattered, essentially, right? But everybody paying attention to politics knew that Joe Biden was a potato, right? He's pretty much a Mr. Potato Head. And we have been seeing this for the past 2 years. And I just can't get over how all the Democrats are either pretending or they are actually in shock because they haven't been paying attention to just how much Joe Biden has declined over the past 3 years, right? I don't think they're in shock, though. I think they're just putting up a facade. These people, right, like they're in Washington. They've got to pay attention to the news. They've got to pay attention to some Joe Biden speech and buffoonery going on with Joe Biden and all this other BS, right? Like, they have to know. There's no way they can't know. So the fact that the corporate press propped him up like that and it backfired in spectacular fashion. Completely backfired on him at that debate. Like, what were they really thinking? Like, seriously, did they really think that what the corporate press was saying was right? Like he's a dynamo in the background. Oh, he's on top of his game from 10 to 4. Like, no, I'm sorry. There is no coming out of that kind of slump, if you will. You know, you don't act like a dementia patient and then turn around and act like Donald Trump does. You know what I mean? You're not energetic one moment and then almost dead the next moment. Right? Like, I'm sorry. Life doesn't work that way. Reality doesn't work that way. But, folks, we have got some oversight coming in. Check this out. Republicans are requesting an interview with the White House physician. Now, how come I didn't think of this, right? Like, how come I haven't been screaming, hey, how about let's talk to Joe Biden's doctor, the White House physician, and let's see what he has to say. We know he has been saying, everything is fine, folks. As a matter of fact, that's probably what the corporate press has been running. The only reason they have been saying, hey, everybody, Joe Biden's just fine. He's an energetic 81-year-old man with a poor memory. That's probably the only reason the corporate press has ran with the narrative they have. Well, these are facts, right? The doctor says he's fine. So he's fine. Instead of just looking at reality and saying, oh, hang on, we got a problem here. Something's not, everything's not copacetic here. I'm seeing one thing and I'm hearing another. But, you know, the corporate press doesn't push on these people. They don't hold the government to account. As a matter of fact, most of the corporate press just props up the government. They're like, hey, we need a narrative, don't we? All right, let's get into it. James Comer, the Republican chairman of the U.S. House Oversight Committee, sent a letter to the White House physician Kevin O'Connor on Sunday, asking him to appear for a closed-door meeting with the committee's counsel. Comer gave O'Connor until July 14th to schedule an interview. The American people have doubts about President Biden's ability to lead the country. The committee is investigating the circumstances surrounding the assessment made in February of this year that President Biden is a healthy, active, strong 81-year-old man who is capable of successfully carrying out the duties of the presidency. Comer wrote in a letter, a copy of which was seen by Politico. O'Connor said in his February report that Biden underwent a very detailed neurological examination and found no indication of cerebral or other central nervous system disorder. He described Biden's gait as stiffer, but said he is a healthy and vigorous 80-year-old man capable of successfully carrying out the duties of the presidency. And that is the biggest lie I think I've ever heard. He is definitely not vigorous. He is definitely not capable. Of course, you know, competence is one thing. Capabilities is another, right? Sure, he may be capable of competence, but he's definitely not putting off an air of competence, because every single thing he does destroys the country, or is helping to bring about a communist revolution that is going to destroy the country. Need I say more? Comer is the first House Republican to open an investigation after Biden's debate performance, which has raised concerns among Democrats, including calls from some lawmakers for him to step down from the presidential race. Biden has been adamant that he will stay in the race, though the ABC's News interview did little to quell skepticism with the party. Yeah, I would say that, yeah. Comer's letter is also a sign that Republicans are using their slim majority in the House of Representatives to intervene. There has been a long-standing push for this among Republican representatives. Yes, because we have seen the decline for the past 3.5 years, ever since Joe Biden came into office. Comer, Republican of Kentucky, linked his letter to O'Connor to a separate impeachment investigation that has focused primarily on business dealings by members of the Biden family. Now, this is a foreign news agency. This had to be translated, so I'm not sure what country this is based on, but this is a scathing article, I must say. Check this out, y'all. Republicans do not have the votes to impeach Biden because they have been unable to win over skeptics in their own party who do not believe Biden has been proven guilty. Tying Comer's letter to an earlier investigation promises to draw strong opposition from Democrats. The investigation also includes 2 payments made by Jim Biden to Joe Biden, according to those involved. It was loan repayments, right? But we also know, something they didn't include in here, is that no bank records from Joe Biden shows an outgoing loan payment in those amounts. As a matter of fact, there are no outgoing loan payments whatsoever. but there's no withdrawals for the exact loan repayments, or even if you add up the loan repayment amount, there's no withdrawals for those amounts. So there's no outgoing loan, but he got repaid that loan. Yeah, something is very fishy with that. And that's why I believe that, yeah, President Joe Biden is corrupt. A lot of people, oh, there's no evidence. No, there's plenty of evidence. The corporate press doesn't report on the freaking evidence. That's the problem. White House Press Secretary Ian Sams pointed to a recent report on Ronnie Jackson's time as the White House physician as a possible place to start. When extreme House Republicans want to see the White House doctor, he said. Extreme. Like, what's an extreme Republican in the House? Like, let me know if there's any extreme Republicans, like congressional members. Like, seriously? Comer is asking O'Connor to produce any documents or communications related to Jim Biden, Joe Biden's brother, or AmeriCorps, asking if O'Connor is in a position to make an accurate and independent judgments about the president's fitness for office. Jim Biden enlisted O'Connor's help in 2017 while Joe Biden was out of office as part of his work with AmeriCorps. That included a meeting between Jim Biden and O'Connor with the head of a hospital in Pennsylvania that AmeriCorps was in the process of acquiring in July 2017, Politico wrote. Oh my goodness, that looks like a major conflict of interest. Yeah, Joe Biden was out of office. Sure. So you got the White House doctor that was working deals with Joe Biden's brother before Joe Biden came into office. Yeah, there's something fishy about that. I think House Republicans have enough to impeach Joe Biden, I believe. But, you know, we got rhinos in the House, so you'll never get these people to vote because they're like, they don't want to be seen as extreme. But, hey, the evidence is there. Just go through the evidence, parse it out, look at it, check it out. It's insane. There's no smoking gun, once again, but you don't necessarily need a smoking gun to get a conviction. But the impeachment isn't going to go through anyway, and we know that, right? Democrats hold the majority in the Senate, so it would never actually go through anyway. As a matter of fact, Chuck Schumer won't even take up the impeachment of Alejandro Mayorkas. That is a very partisan game that he is playing. And then they get mad when Republicans, you know, tit for tat back. You know, Democrats will do something ridiculous, and then Republicans try to do it, and then Democrats say, oh, well, they're playing tit for tat type stuff. No, dude. Hang on. There was a genuine articles of impeachment brought up on Alejandro Mayorkas, and you won't even take it up to let your members vote on it. The Democrats do not care about the Constitution, y'all. You've got to at least bring it up for a vote. Even if you think it's ridiculous, you know, let the members sort it out. It's not up to one dude to halt an impeachment proceeding. That, to me, is the antithesis of democracy. And these are the same people that are constantly talking about, oh, democracy this. We must save democracy from Orange Man. Yeah, it's all just nuts. It's all just hypocrisy at its best, folks. If you want to know how to be a hypocrite, just look at Senate Democrats and look at House Democrats. Just look at Democrat politicians in general. The left is full of hypocrisies. They're all over the place. And once again, anything that they're saying that the other side is doing, you can almost be damn well sure that they are doing that very same thing. But I think that's all I got for this one, y'all. I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comment section. Is this a good idea? Put the damn White House doctor on blast. Put him under oath and see if he still says that Joe Biden is a vigorous 81-year-old guy who could run marathons, for God's sakes. Yeah, let's see what he has to say about that, because nobody believes it anymore. Nobody. That doesn't stop MSDNC from still trying to prop up the administration, folks. And isn't that just great? Isn't that just lovely? But, like I said, that's all I got. I want to thank everybody for watching. And y'all try to have a good day and stay legitical. Peace.